Today is Wednesday, October 20, 2021. I'm Pastor Michael, and this is Wilderness Wanderings. Our text is from Matthew 16. Jesus replied, "And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it." Verse 18. Before we return to Deuteronomy, I want to follow up on Pastor Anthony's reflection on deconstruction. It truly is all the buzz today. In fact, a daily email I subscribe to began yesterday's reflection with the phrase, deconstructing faith. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to add my 2 cents to the conversation. This will not be a Debbie Downer devotion. Let me set the stage with 2 personal experiences. Growing up, I thought the Christian Reformed Church was the church. We had it right. Everyone else had it, if not wrong, at least less right. And then, in my early 20s, the denomination sort of blew up over the issues of woman in ecclesiastical office and differing interpretations of Genesis 1. I discovered that we did not have it all figured out. I also saw that the church can be a dangerous community. Some people went to other churches, some quit the church altogether, their faith deconstructed by the behaviour of church members. I know that some of you still bear the wounds of those days. I was starting to deconstruct. Then I was ordained in this wobbly denomination, having been called to my first congregation. A few years in, I sat at my desk when it hit me rather hard. I had no idea what I was doing. Out there was a congregation expecting me to lead them. But what did it mean to lead a congregation? Every book I read had a different take on the answer. About the same time, I preached a sermon titled Growing Up into Christ, based on Ephesians 4. Halfway through preaching the sermon, I was shocked to realize that I didn't know very much about growing up into Christ at all. I was quite deconstructed. So I did the most logical thing. I went back to school to study leadership and discipling. It was helpful, but it was not the solution. Every year there are still dozens of books published about how to lead the church. They all have a different slant. Books about making disciples of Jesus are probably just as numerous. These books are helpful, but not the answer. The answer that reconstructed me is in our text. I will build my church, says Jesus, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. Without fail, the church is led by sinful humans who are struggling to be disciples of Jesus. It's been 2,000 years since Jesus made this claim, and the church still hasn't got it figured out. But that is not fatal. We don't need to get it figured out. We don't need to get it all right. Despite us, Jesus continues to build his church. Here is something else to think about. Sometimes, maybe often, Jesus needs to deconstruct the edifice we humans call church, so that he can build his church. I think that COVID is something our Lord is using to do some deconstructing. This is difficult. It's painful. We lose things that are precious to us. But they must go so that he can build something better. I used to worry lots about the church, especially about the congregations I served. Not so much anymore. Maybe that's progress in discipleship. Congregations may fall apart. Maybe our denomination is slated for total deconstruction. If this happens, it will be very painful. I will weep. But Jesus will build his church. He does not need the Christian Reformed denomination, and he doesn't need a manual. And as painful as that may be for us invested in these, it is also good news. Jesus is building his church. I don't think that our Lord defines church in terms of incorporated congregations and denominations. Rather, when Jesus said, "I will build my church," he meant groups of people who believe what Peter had confessed. You are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Jesus keeps deconstructing what we tried to build so that he can construct something better. I have discovered that it doesn't matter so much that I don't know what I'm doing. Jesus continues to build his church. That's good news. As you journey on, go with the blessing of God. May the peace of the Lord Christ go with you, wherever he may send you. May he guide you through the wilderness, protect you through the storm. May he bring you home rejoicing at the wonders he has shown you. May he bring you home rejoicing once again into our doors.